Consider, O man, his works, the timely rotations of the seasons, the changes of temperature, the regular march of the stars, the well-ordered course of days and nights and months and years, the various beauty of seeds and plants and fruits, and the diverse species of quadrupeds and birds and reptiles and fishes, both of the rivers and of the seas. Or consider the instinct implanted in these animals to beget and rear offspring, not for their own profit, but for the use of man, and the providence with which God provides nourishment for all flesh, or the subjection in which he has ordained that all things subserve mankind. Consider too the flowing of sweet fountains and never failing rivers, and the seasonable supply of dew and showers and rains, the manifold movement of the heavenly bodies, the morning star rising and heralding the approach of the perfect luminary, in the constellation of Pleiades, and Orion, and Arcturus, in the orbit of the other stars that circle through the heavens, all of which the manifold wisdom of God has called by names of their own. He is God alone who made light out of darkness, and brought forth light from his treasures, and formed the chambers of the south wind, and the treasure houses of the deep, and the bonds of the sea, and treasuries of snow and hailstorms, collecting the waters in the storehouses of the deep, and the darkness in his treasures, and bringing forth the sweet and desirable and pleasant light out of his treasures, who causes the vapor to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightning for the rain, who sends forth his thunder to terrify, and foretells by the lightning the peal of the thunder, that no soul may faint with the sudden shock. And whoso moderates the violence of the lightning as it flashes out of heaven, that it does not consume the earth. For if the lightning were allowed all its power, it would burn up the earth. And were the thunder allowed all its power, it would overthrow all the works that are therein. This is the God of Israel, the Lord of all, who alone stretched out the heaven, and established the breadth of the earth under it, who steers the deep recesses of the sea, and makes its waves roar, who rules its power, and still the tumult of its waves, who founded the earth upon the waters, and gave a spirit to nourish it, whose breath giveth life to the world, who, if he withdrew his breath, the whole will utterly fail. By him you speak, O man, his breath you yet breathe. Him many know not. And this is their condition because of the blindness of their souls and hardness of their hearts. But if you will, you may be healed. Entrust yourself to the physician, and he will coach the eyes of your soul and of your heart. Who is the physician? God, who heals and makes alive through his word and wisdom. God by his own word and wisdom made all things. By his word were the heavens made, and all the host of them by the breath of his mouth. Most excellent is his wisdom. By his wisdom God founded the earth, and by knowledge he prepared the heavens, and by understanding were the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the clouds poured out their dews. If thou perceivest these things, O man, living chastely and holy and righteously, thou canst see God. But before all, let faith and the fear of God have rule in thy heart, and then shalt thou understand these things, when thou shalt have put off the mortal and put on incorruption. Then shalt thou see God worthily, for God will raise thy flesh immortal with thy soul, and then having become immortal, thou shalt see the immortal, if now you believe on him. But you do not believe that the dead are raised. When the resurrection shall take place, then you will believe, whether you will or not, and your faith shall be reckoned for unbelief, unless you believe now. And why do you not believe? Do you not know that faith is the leading principle in all matters? For what husbandman can reap unless he first trust his seed to the earth? Or who can cross the sea unless he first entrusts himself to the boat and the pilot? And what sick person can be healed unless first he trust himself to the care of the physician? And what art or knowledge can anyone learn unless he first apply and entrust himself to the teacher? If then the husbandman trust the earth, and the sailor the boat, and the sick the physician, will you not place confidence in God, even when you hold so many pledges at his hand? For first he created you out of nothing, and brought you into existence. For if your father was not, nor your mother, much more were you yourself at one time not in being, and formed you out of a small and moist substance, even out of the least drop, which at one time had itself no being, and God introducing you into this life. Moreover, you may believe that the images made by men are God's and do great things. And can you not believe that the God who made you is able also to make you afterward?